What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys liked my last video. If you didn't, go back and watch it, and while you're there, watch all my other videos and like them. That would really help me out. Subscribe to the channel and all that. Now, this video was actually inspired by an X thread. Now it's X, obviously. They was talking about what is the most iconic sports game of all time, and I said the Miracle on Ice game. You know, when these young underdog college students beat the best hockey team in the world in 1980. And some people were saying, not just to me, but to other people, that you can't pick a game before you were born. That game has to be a game that you were able to watch live. Even if you understand the significance of the game, it doesn't count. So I was thinking, okay, what are my top 3 sports games of all time that I watched live? And I was like, let me just make a video on it. That would be an interesting video because, you know, I like talking about sports. So I'm going to go from 3 to 1, and then we're going to see how this goes. Number 3 of all time is Tom Brady's last game ever, when the Dallas Cowboys, my favorite team, finally beat him. That's the whole reason it's an iconic game. It's the Cowboys in the playoffs. Obviously, everyone knows the Cowboys' record over the last X amount of seasons with playoffs, but we got a win over Tom Brady, who we had never beaten before. He was like 5-0 or 6-0 against us, and we finally got one out over him, and then he ends up retiring. That's the main reason to me that that's an iconic game. You know, it wasn't, I don't remember it being an amazing game on the field. I could be wrong, but that's the whole reason it became iconic. We beat Tom Brady. I'm a massive Tom Brady fan. I'm a massive Cowboys fan. So that was just a fun game for me. So number 2 is Super Bowl 51, when the Patriots beat the Falcons 28-3. To borrow the quote from Julian Edelman, hell of a story. I mean, you had that double catch that Julian Edelman was making when he's screaming, "I caught it." You got them motivating the guys on the sideline, saying, filming outside, so that's why I got bugs flying over me. But back to what I was saying. Get them encouraging their guys on the sideline, saying, it's going to be a hell of a story. We're going to make this comeback. And they did. They started scoring touchdowns and more points. And they were like, maybe they're going to do it. Maybe they're going to make this a game. And they squeaked it out. You know, that last bit of Tom Brady magic, he still had some magic left in him in New England. So he was still at the top of the game. Now, my number 1 game of all time, I think, might surprise some people. It was a 2013 playoff game between the Broncos and the Ravens. You know, Ray Lewis and Peyton Manning. They went into double overtime, and for me, that is the greatest game I've ever seen live. Double overtime. You had these 2 vets, 2, you know, hallmarks of the game, battling it out for what could have been the final time of their careers. And everyone knew watching that game, those were the 2 best teams left in the league. Whoever was going to win that game was going to be the heavy favorite for the Super Bowl. And the Ravens actually ended up winning the Super Bowl that year, as you guys know. You don't gotta hear that from me. But that to me is the greatest game of all time. Just going back and forth. Neither one wanted to give, and the Ravens squeaked it out. You had Ray Lewis getting emotional after the game because that whole season they knew it was going to be his last game. So that is the most iconic sports game that I have ever watched. Let me know in the comments below, what are your favorite sports memories that you watched. Now, these were all football memories because growing up I mainly watched football, so all of my most iconic sports memories from games I've watched are all football games. You know, I'm trying to watch more sports. I'm trying to get into more different types of sports. Maybe I'll make videos on them in the future if I actually get around to actually watching them. But yeah, if you like this video, like the channel, like the video, subscribe. That would help me out a lot. Leave a comment below. What are your favorite sports memories of all time? Maybe you're not a sports fan, but yeah, like this video, like I just said, comment on it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you know when I always post. And have a good day and be kind to each other.